Okay, brilliant. So we're back with Sam. So Ruby, I always get it mixed up. I never know whether to say Ruby or Sam. But anyway, we're back.
Everyone calls me Sam. My full name is Ruby Sam.
Yeah, that's it. So we're back with you because we did a spotlight on you the other week, and then you got some more feedback from a client who was blown away with your work with quantum holographic echo healing. And I asked you if you kindly jump back on and let's share these amazing success stories you're having through using the energy system. So before we dive in, we'll just tell people who are new to my social media and YouTube, quantum holographic echo healing is a root cause energy healing system, uses spiritual kinesiology. So it's a form of dowsing with a pendulum, tarot cards. And we basically have a master manual that we work with. When we connect with our clients, we kind of quantum entangle with their energy and our energy. And we're asking their body, their holographic field, their biofield, to reveal to us the layer that needs healing, so that client that we're working with can move towards their greatest potential in life. So we never know as practitioners what the heck is going to come up, and it can sometimes feel like you're on a magical mystery ride with all the information that's been given to us via the client's energy field and is coming out through the manual and the pendulum. But it hits the nail on the head each and every time. So if you haven't watched my previous video with Sam, then go back and listen to what her client's feedback was, because it was absolutely mind-blowing and life-changing for the client. So tell us about this other client you have who's given you great feedback with it. So we were just talking then. So basically, when we do the training, I always say to people, your clients can share if they want or not share. And I am a classic example of that client that doesn't share. And it sounds like you had somebody just like me, quite closed off, you know, not closed off, but guarded, and want to remain that way, because this system can really bring up deep-rooted wounds that, you know, it's very vulnerable for somebody to sit in front of you that you know, maybe just met for the first time and have issues of abandonment, trauma, potentially abuse come up, and they don't really know you. So it can be quite vulnerable for a client. So anyway, Sam, tell me what happened.
Okay, so this was a client who had also booked for 3 sessions. And again, it was the 3rd session that like really opened everything up and gave her answers. So yeah, so for this client, she didn't talk very much. She didn't want to, which was fine. And all she came to me with was that she had an emotional issue that she wanted to make better, in a nutshell, really, and not keep going around for her and like keep coming up in different situations for her. And while she didn't really understand how it was showing up, we did delve into that, and that did come into awareness with this. So yeah, that was the starting point. She had an emotional issue.
And she didn't tell you what that emotional issue was, did she?
No, she didn't tell me what that emotional issue was until the last session.
Right.
With stuff that had come up from the 2nd session, and then we delved even deeper in the 3rd session, which was again, which we shared in previous video, was like a complete light bulb moment going off, and that realization.
Okay, so without sharing too many details or anything like that, can you let us into what came up for her in the sessions, and then what led to the breakthrough moment?
Yeah, so as I say, she didn't want to talk, which is absolutely fine. So in the 1st sessions, we're sort of looking at the 1st layer, scraping away, you know, looking through, peering into to the field and that. And yeah, at the end of that session, she was like, wow, it was way more powerful than she was expecting. she'd been very intrigued by this, by QHEH, and liked how it did pull in different modalities into one, which did really intrigue her.
Yeah.
And she's had different energy therapies over the years. Yeah, and she said, fed back, she wasn't disappointed with what resulted. So yeah, what was covered, we actually was ancestral patterns, her own past life as well, and this life, and how that had influenced this life, and where that had come from. And with that, she was able to understand the different relationships within her family,
Interesting.
and some of the more self-sabotaging patterns that she couldn't break.
That's so cool. So it sounds like it was a really kind of deep layered process for her then. Had she had any past life stuff done before?
Yes, I believe so. Again, I didn't really delve into that with her, but yeah, she had some, because I wanted to focus what was coming up there than what she previously.
Yeah.
But I mean, she did say, okay, yeah, I have been told that before.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So then moving forward through the sessions, when she came back to you for, say, like the second and third session, had she started noticing any subtle shifts in her life, any changes? What were they?
Yeah, so on the second session, again, she didn't share what the emotional or the emotion, particular one in the end that came out, was, but she said that she had slept really well after the session, and yeah, felt a benefit from that. And she was noticing she wasn't feeling as overwhelmed, as consumed and uncomfortable. You know, it had definitely lifted for her after the first session.
Yeah. So when we go back, and we don't necessarily, as in this instance, have to take someone back into a past life regression.
No.
But just bringing awareness and acknowledgement to a behavioral pattern that you can't quite place, particularly in this life. There might not be one defining incident that's made somebody go, yeah, I know why that happened. But it's like, they feel like it's always been there. And quite often it has. It's because it's an unresolved emotion that could have happened lives ago, that we're now here to maybe process, work through, heal, do something differently, learn, who knows. But when that is lying unprocessed, it's still alive and active in our field, drawing to us all the experiences that will help us move through that karmic play or whatever. So I guess bringing the awareness that, you know, this was ancestral, past life, going through the 3 sessions, it sounds like it eventually hit the nail on the head to an emotion that I guess she could really relate to, that she could really understand that she was feeling that emotion.
Yeah, and it what we did reveal in the last session, she just said, I'm mind blown. I don't, like, she said, well, actually the feedback she gave in a review, it was like, it was so accurate. It was a bit freaky, like she said, it's a bit frightening that you actually got to that. And you know, this is stuff that's in our subconscious, so even though it was in there, she hadn't got access to it, has she? But yeah, she said she was mind blown, and she could understand how the ancestral, the family line, how that had been playing out for her, and how it was manifested in her physical health, right. In her physical patterns that she kept doing, and couldn't break. And yeah, it was again just a complete change in physical appearance in her. Yeah, and she was just really excited, and I think it's just having that clarity. And obviously we do the clearing in the sessions as well. she absolutely loved what she called it her personal prescription of the energetic work in between sessions, you know, the aftercare. Everyone's all got, but I just love Richard to me. I just love this personal prescription. It's so unique. I've never had this before. And it's definitely really helps empower the client.
Yeah, that's a good point, because when you do a session with a client, like I say, you've got a whole manual to work through, asking the body field the questions to be revealed. So that's where it brings up the stored emotions, the ancestral stuff, who an event it may be attached to, etc. But then when we come to working on clearing, we have a specific spiritual, invocation that we say, let's say. So we're talking directly to the cellular body, the blueprint of the client, the creator. We're talking directly to that to make the commands for alignment. But then moving forward, we still want to help that client with the healing process. So having a session is great, but what do you do after? You know, you're left processing this stuff, all the changes are going on in the background, but actually to really strengthen that and to put the client also in the driving seat, because it is the client's belief system that has to be 100% on board, because we're not in control. We're not magicians. We're not in control of anyone else's autonomy. If they want to change, they can change with you facilitate. If they don't want to change, doesn't matter what you do or say, they don't want to change, they won't. So giving them the aftercare enables them to take control.
Yeah.
And to feel that sense of empowerment. So do you remember what type of aftercare was specifically for her?
It was the tapping with the affirmations, yeah, for each session. Yeah.
Great. And did the affirmation kind of hit the nail on the head with where she was at and what she needed?
Yeah, yeah, it did. Yeah, I won't share on that, but yeah, it did. And yeah, she found, I mean, she found all of it beneficial, but I think, again, which I've said before, which is unique about this modality, is that you're bringing something into someone's awareness. We're not dwelling on that. We're helping them clear it, understand themselves better, understand how they're interacting in the world, you know, why it might be they're doing something. And when you have that understanding, as you say, you then have the choice what you do with that.
Yeah.
But it definitely helps empower you to make changes. And then when you're instilling this new belief into yourselves, it empowers that even further.
Definitely. So it's a psychological and energetic and spiritual kind of shift in a client. So well done, Sam. You're doing amazing work with quantum holographic echo healing. So I will post links to where people can find you and work for you, because, you know, your testimonials are, you know, appraising you in the most positive, beautiful light that you can be a guide for somebody else. So well done. And thank you for sharing it with me as well.
No, thank you. I love chatting about this. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
And you.
See you
Bye.
soon, lovely. Bye.